Have you ever been away from home and wanted to play your PlayStation, but you can't because it's tens, hundreds, or even thousands of kilometers away? I know I have. Back in 2017 at the launch of Destiny 2, I was lucky enough to be on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. But one day was a complete washout. We were essentially isolated to the hotel, and I would have much rather been playing that game than sitting and looking out the window longingly, waiting for the weather to clear up. Obviously, carting a full console around with you in such a scenario isn't that realistic though. But what if you could play your PlayStation on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop? Well, since 2014, in some way, shape or form, you have been able to. But oddly, many people don't know about this. So welcome everybody, my name is Doragon, and this is how you can remotely access your PlayStation 4 or 5 console from any device on any internet connection, anywhere in the world. A history of remote play. Some of you will have already cottoned on to what I'm talking about here. For the uninitiated, however, let me give you a quick history lesson. Back when handheld gaming was an actual corner of the video game industry, Sony launched the PlayStation Portable. I still have mine here in full working order. The device was phenomenal, bringing experiences like God of War, Need for Speed, Prince of Persia and Metal Gear Solid among many others on the go with you. But the PSP had a bit of a party trick. If you set it up properly, you could use your PSP to remotely access your PlayStation 3 system, even turning it on from rest mode, and play your PS3 games on your PSP over an internet connection. It worked fantastically. But as the PSP aged, even though it had remote play available for the PS4, the fidelity of the games meant it wasn't as feasible as it once was, with the PS4 taking over from the PS3. On the 28th of October 2014, Sony announced a new Android application that would come bundled with their newest smartphone, the Sony Xperia Z3. This application was simply called Remote Play. This app would allow you to connect to your PlayStation 4 via a Wi-Fi connection, either from another room in the house or anywhere else in the world. You could connect a DualShock 3 or 4 to your phone via Bluetooth and play your console wherever you were. Again, this could turn the device on from rest mode, and you had access to everything barring PS Now games via the cloud. A month after this launch, Sony announced the app would also become compatible with their older Xperia Z2 phone, which I just so happened to have. A similar version would come installed on PlayStation Vita and PlayStation TV when they launched, offering the same experience. Better, even, with the Vita, due to the inbuilt physical buttons. After that point, every single Sony smartphone has shipped with the PlayStation Remote Play app pre-installed, and users have been able to play their console wherever they have a Wi-Fi connection. Since October 2nd, 2017, PC users have also had full access to Remote Play. It doesn't matter the type of device, as long as it's running Windows, you can use Remote Play. So that includes all Surface devices, mini PCs, and Windows handhelds, alongside the usual PC and laptop users. One day later, macOS devices were also able to use the service. Content creation suddenly became really easy with no need for cables, moving the console and such. Just capture the Remote Play window on your PC or Mac. In 2019, Sony stepped the game up and rolled the app out to all Android devices. This image here is of the app on the Google Play Store, accessed from a Samsung tablet. Suddenly, any Android user could access their PlayStation 4 from their phone or tablet wherever they were, as long as they were on Wi-Fi. I did this from Tokyo in August 2019 to ensure that I added the latest PS Plus games to my library while the console was back home in the UK. And I did it using touch controls, another positive addition to the app. In late 2019, the app was made available on iOS and iPadOS, and now the Apple mobile users could also get in on the action. In 2020, Remote Play got a huge revamp with the launch of the PlayStation 5. A new app, the ability to select PS4 or 5, improved latency, a new backend. It worked better than it ever had before. In March 2022, new updates finally fixed missing features of the service, such as resolution selection, use on mobile data, connected controller rumble, and even better latency, making it the best version of the app that we've ever had. But Sony aren't the only ones to have offered a remote play option over the years. Many third-party apps have cropped up over time, allowing access on devices that Sony didn't officially support in earlier years. I've personally used a third-party app known as PS Play. It has been on the Android store since early 2020, and even now in 2022, offers more settings and fidelity than the official app. And that is where we sit now in April 2022. One fantastic official app and many third-party options that sometimes allow us to do a little bit more. Why am I telling you this? It's quite simple, really. Despite the app being available since 2014 in some shape or form, I still meet people daily, either in real life or online, that don't know that this is possible, let alone that it exists. I have work colleagues who moan that they can't play with their kids whilst they're off on business trips, or friends who can't play as much as they'd like to because of the television that the PlayStation's plugged into. University students who feel like they're not going to get their PlayStation experience when off at uni because they don't want to take the PlayStation with them in case it gets lost, stolen, or damaged. There are a million other use cases too, but I think by this point, you're starting to get the picture here. I'm putting this out into the world, as many have done before me, to offer a wider, better, and more inclusive gaming experience to all PlayStation users. I will link in the description box below the official website for Remote Play, so that you can go and download the application whichever platform you're on. It'll take you to a different page and then it'll give you links to download it on your particular platform. How to get started. Start by being in the same location as your PlayStation. I'd recommend having the PlayStation console turned on when starting this process. You then need to download the application. I'm going to be showing you on Android today, but the skills and general processes are transferable. For my scenario, it is boot up the Google Play Store and search for Remote Play. There'll be a few options, and there are two that I would recommend. The official app from Sony and PS Play from Florian Grill. Download and install the app, then load it up. For the official app, upon first loading, there is a setup phase. This will require you to log into your Sony Entertainment Network account, so add in your username and password, and if you have two-factor authentication set up, then add in the passcode sent to you via your preferred method. Once this is done, you may need to register the Remote Play app with your console, though this isn't always required. If you do need to register, go into the settings of your console, scroll to System, then Remote Play. Ensure the Turn Remote Play On option has the slider to the right-hand side, adjusted via the X button when hovering over it, and once turned on, go into Link Device. This will display an 8-digit code on screen that you can then input into the app. Once done, you have mostly full access to your console over an internet connection. All you need to do is load the app on your phone, tab, laptop, or whatever other device you're using, and select the console that you want to connect to over the internet. Now you can register multiple Remote Play devices at once, though only one can access the console at a time. So, like me, you can have the official app, a PlayStation Vita, and the PS Play app all registered at once if you so fancy. Or, you could even have more. For PS Play, I believe this is an Android-only app at the time of writing. The setup process is very similar. Download and load the app, choose Register PlayStation, choose the console generation you are looking to register, input the pairing code as you did for the official app, sign into your SEN account, and then the PlayStation settings screen will appear on your device. Nice and simple, really, and this is all outlined on screen for you as you go, so follow those prompts and you can't go wrong registering your app. Before fully diving in and enjoying all that Remote Play has to offer, I would recommend changing some settings in both applications. On the official app, there aren't too many settings that you can change, but there are some important ones. Go into video quality for Remote Play and bump it as high as it will go. PS4 will be 720p and PS5 will default to 1080. Then, Go into frame rate, just below the resolution section that you just selected, and choose high. The final one to do is mobile data. Go into that option and move the slider to the right. Now obviously, this is what you'll use in a perfect scenario. But if your connection isn't up to the task of maximum settings, have a play around with them until you obtain a smooth gaming experience. Now PS Play, and this is a reason that I still really like it, has a ton more settings than the official app. But I'll get into PS Play specifically a little later in the video, so stay tuned. What can and can't it do? Everything that a spider can. Wait, that's Spider-Man. Although, it can do Spider-Man. Remote Play is a remote access application. It isn't like cloud gaming or cloud gaming adjacent services like GeForce Now. This works much more like Steam Link. With those settings from earlier in the video, you can then use any internet connection to access your own PlayStation console from wherever you are in the world. Your home screen, your games, your PlayStation store and library, and probably most importantly, your save data. You do have to be aware of some caveats with Remote Play. Remember that Destiny 2 launch that I mentioned earlier? Had Remote Play worked on mobile data or internationally back in September 2017, despite my want to play the game on that washed out day on holiday, as I had bought the physical copy of Destiny 2 and that wasn't in the device at the time, I couldn't play it even if the option had been available. So if you do operate on mainly physical media such as I do to protect my consumer rights, you have to plan ahead for Remote Play use and ensure that the correct disk is in the drive before you leave. It's a small caveat in the scheme of things, but an important one. For digital media, however, it is wonderful. While I buy physically for my consumer rights, I have been a PlayStation Plus subscriber since 2013, so 9 years at this point. This means I have a massive digital library just from the PlayStation Plus monthly inclusive games. Looking forward to the revamped PS Plus from June 2022, that's another 400 to 800 games that will be digitally available to me, depending on my subscription tier. Remote Play will be able to use any of those games that are on my SSD. This does lead us to our second caveat though. Remote Play cannot cloud game. What this means for that revamped PS Plus is that I still won't be able to play PlayStation 3 games when I'm not on my console. I'll be able to browse the available catalogue, sure, but I won't be able to play them remotely. The same is true for the rest of that vast 800 game library. If it's not on your console, you can't play it via Sony's cloud gaming infrastructure, unless you're on a PlayStation console or PC. And on PC, it's via a separate app anyway. Now you can set a download to start via Remote Play, and play it once it's downloaded, so we're not talking impossible here. Just a case of pre-preparation and knowing the limitations of the service. So it can play any game on your hard drive or in your disk drive. You can download games and even shop for new ones, either via PS Now or the revamped Plus, or on the PlayStation Store. So what else can it do? How about online play? Check. Chat parties? Check. Unlimited playtime? Check. Touchscreen controls? Check. What about controller support? DualShock 4 or DualSense? What about lag? What lag? It all sounds quite positive, but then you can do on-device content creation remotely. Okay, there are limitations. Facecam isn't a thing, and you do need to be in a party to get voiceover included as part of the recording or stream. But it does mean that I could do a live stream or make a new YouTube video upload while out of town in a hotel room, just using devices that I already have, like the PlayStation and my phone. It is a fantastic and versatile service, all through a free app. Why use third-party apps like PS Play? It's a very good question, especially with how good the official app actually is. Dark mode, mobile data, 1080p, access to a giant library. It's a free app that does about as much as xCloud does, but xCloud requires a £10.99 a month subscription fee. Some of the reasoning is very much a me thing, and some of that is also quite a legacy concern now. but there are still aspects that are above the official app and offer more fidelity. For years, many of the positives that I've outlined in this video were pipe dreams for the official app. Remember dark mode, mobile data and 1080p? They're a tail end of 2020 through the beginning of 2022 thing for the Remote Play app. For PS Play, however, they've been a thing since before the pandemic. PlayStation controllers have always been expensive. DualShock 4s are still £40 or more for a new one, let alone the DualSense. With PS Play, however, you can use any controller, even Joy-Cons if you so fancy. This means an older controller can connect to my tablet via Bluetooth and either immediately work or, after a quick button remap in the app settings, work flawlessly. Need an additional controller? PS Play can turn your phone or tab into one for couch co-op or versus games on the console itself. You can change encoding options, dead zones, rumble on the device and controller, have HDR visuals remotely and more. PS Play offers so much that even the amazing official app doesn't. I can change the aspect ratio of the stream to fill my display or letterbox, for example, and adjust the layout of the on-screen touch controls. I can set different profiles for these settings to switch easily on the fly or for different consoles. The options continue to expand the further you look into them. This next thing is why I still love this third-party app despite the great strides that the official one is making. This first picture here is the error message that I get when trying to screenshot on the official app. Now, I had to take a photo of my tablet with my phone to get this shot. If I screen record on the official app, I just get a black screen. This, however, is what happens with PS Play. Full capture, 1080p visuals, screen recording. Heck, I've even live streamed Horizon Forbidden West this way using the tablet and Prism Live Studio. Now yes, this is only a mobile concern. If you're using Remote Play on a PC, you can just capture the window of the official app, no worries. As someone without a PC, however, and as someone who champions for content creation using the devices that you already own, this opens up new content creation avenues for minimal or zero additional cost. This Pro version of the app that I use is a £5.99 one-off fee, but you can do much the same for free with PS Play. To show how good it is for content creation, all of the console footage that you have seen in this video has been captured through the PS Play app on either Wi-Fi or mobile data, and it looks great. A PlayStation phone. Okay, it's not quite the Xperia Play, the last official PlayStation phone. But, in my opinion, it might just be better. With a little grip like either of these, you can hook a PlayStation controller up to your phone and have a full console experience wherever you are, on the go, in a different room, or in the bath, if you so fancy. One free app can turn your phone into the ultimate games machine. Anything else that is offering that tagline is asking you for a monthly subscription fee. Does it have its limitations? Of course it does. This is Sony that we're talking about here. A company that are somehow so forward-thinking and simultaneously so archaic. There's always going to be things that we wish it did better. But what you get for the price of entry, that is rarely, if ever, matched elsewhere in the industry, let alone surpassed. Now yes, Xbox have a very similar service, but touch controls are missing most of the time. Bluetooth is finicky, and that won't turn your console on from sleep mode. Steam Link does much the same as Remote Play does, but for Steam Link to work, you need to leave your PC on, which, you know, if you're going on a 2-week holiday across the other side of the globe, not the best idea to do. What we have for all of these Remote Play applications isn't perfect, but all of them are a positive step wherever you play. With the fidelity of the Remote Play application, however, it can make your phone into a full PlayStation console at no additional cost. One that you can play wherever, whenever, as long as you have an internet connection. And that is just fantastic. I would like to thank you all very much for tuning in. I wanted to put this information out into the world to let people know that it exists, that they can use it to improve their PlayStation experience. But also, my mission on this channel is to create content using the devices that I already own, to prove that it can be done and that you can grow doing such a thing. Each device has limitations though. While the PlayStation is amazing and can do 4K HDR video at 60 frames per second, it cannot record or export a video longer than 60 minutes in length. While my tablet can record as long as it so wants until it runs out of memory, it can't do the 4K and it can't do the HDR. So both have their strengths, and where one is useful the other isn't, and vice versa. But they both have their place. To be able to use my tablet or my phone to capture PlayStation content has been a massive boon to my personal content creation. And I feel that other budding content creators could get a really solid start, or even success, by using this service and saving a few pennies early on. Now, if you have enjoyed the content, guys, I would really appreciate a subscribe to the channel. I would also love to see that like count grow, but most importantly, I want to hear from you in the comments section down below. Had you heard of Remote Play before today? If so, have you used it, and what are your thoughts? If you're hearing about it for the first time today, are you going to be trying it out? Like I say, let me know in those comments down below. But otherwise, your viewership is more than enough for me, guys. My name is Doragon. This has been how you can turn your phone into a PlayStation console. And until next time, have yourselves a fantastic day. And take care.